Varsity Records. And after that, I started to just hold these auditions in the radio and just get people to come in and try out. And it was very much similar to that whole Australian Idol thing, which I'm sure many of you have seen. Here are just a few of the different group members, and some of them you would have even seen on Australian Idol, because birds of a feather flock together, as they say. So a lot of them, you see them in one audition, you see them somewhere else, they're always constantly trying to make it big. And like this girl here, she was on Australian Idol. I think in this one here, she was one of my group members for a small amount of time. These two girls here, they made it through, I think, 2 series ago in the Australian Idol. They made it through to the final round. So these were pretty good singers that I was trying to get into the thing. And eventually I got down to a point where I had picked the groups that I wanted and I had formed them. And here was one of the groups I was working on. Eventually it didn't work out, but it was a female pop kind of group called Venom. But you could say, after I had kind of fallen in that way of that I couldn't make it successful myself, and I decided to start living through the dreams of other people, I started to become very rebellious because of this fact, and jealous, you could say. So I started going into the whole rap scene and the R&B and hip-hop kind of scene, and that was the music that I began pursuing. And this, you could say, was the cream of Varsity Records, this group here. It's called Urban Touch. And they were great boys. They were really passionate about their music, and they loved everything they did. And for a good amount of time there, they were really faithful to wanting this to succeed. And here's a few more pictures of a couple of my friends. His name was Jordo from B105, and my friend Peter. This is just when we were at the studios there in B105. But yeah, I began promoting these groups and getting them out into the scene. And eventually what happened was I got to a point in the industry where they were just about to make it big. They were just about to be successful. And everything started to kind of fold in on itself. And I had set a goal for myself that by the age of 25, I would have made it successful in the industry. I would have maybe even got to the point of near retirement. But yeah, I would just be ready I would have had fulfilled that goal. And that's what I was aiming for, that age of 25. And I was even going to the extent that if I hadn't made it by then, that I was willing to commit suicide over it. And the other thing about being in the industry is you want to hang around a lot of people that are involved in the same stuff as you. So through my parents, they were connected to a group called Savage Garden through a friend of my mum's. And yeah, so I got invited to a lot of their concerts, and sometimes we got to go there in a limo and just things like that which make you feel special, and that even helped to drive that dream. There's another picture of them at a private concert that they were playing at Warner Brothers Movie World. Here's some other groups. These are just some people that I met in the industry in different programs and seminars I went to. There's Brooks Satchwell, a couple of I didn't really know them, but I just took a photo with them anyway. Group Cherry. I don't think they really came to much in the end, but yeah, these were just some of the people that I got to see. And as I was going into this whole music lifestyle, the things of the world really draw you in. You have this idea that when you reach this level, when you have all the possessions they have, the fame, the friends, that you're going to reach this perfect bliss of happiness. And that a lot of the times I was aiming for that. I'd buy like cars and bikes. I'd go through all the toys. I'd have all the different things that a lot of people would desire, and I'd stay in resorts, and we'd film a lot of clips and things like that in just resorts that would hire out. But yeah, everything that a lot of people could want, I had in regards to this. But the one thing I didn't have was happiness. Now I'm just going to show a brief little thing. Before I got involved in all this stuff, I had a lot of little simple things little simple compromises, you could say, that I would allow myself. And that was just listening to secular music, like things like Elvis Presley, or things that don't really seem too wrong. I used to like Linkin Park. I used to drink a lot of coffee. I didn't think there was anything wrong with that. I used to watch a lot of gothic kind of films, you could say, like Buffy, Lord of the Rings. Used to listen to different groups that gave a bit of a gothic feel, rap, R&B, hip-hop. I used to like a lot of different kinds of music. Used to play a lot of Xbox, things like that, just things you don't really think too much of, that there isn't too much that's wrong with them. And there I've just got a few listed there. But after time, what started off as little sins, or some people might not even call those things sins, but just small compromises, led to greater things. It led me to become involved in occult themes, into hardcore rap, into smoking, drinking, drugs, just all these different things. And it was just by those small compromises at the start. And because of this, it caused a lot of pain and grief in my life, because it eventually led me to be involved in a lot of, just getting involved in violence and crime and pornography, and even a lot of new age kind of stuff, occult kind of things. So I just praise the Lord that He led me out of that whole industry, and it was a hard road for Him to lead me out. There was a lot of the times when I had near-death experiences and I had demonic attacks and things like that. But eventually the Lord led me out, and praise His holy name for that, because I just think if I had died at any time during that process, then I would have been eternally lost. So I have Him to praise for that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be having a look at why this whole music industry is such a controlling factor, and why does it have such an influence on all of our youth today. But first, we're going to take a look at the origins of the music industry and where it came from, and just get a brief little history about it. Did you know that music is mentioned over 800 times in the Bible? Over 200 times we are commanded to sing to God. So do you think that music could have a pretty important role in our lives? Yes. Music isn't all bad. Music is a powerful tool in the eyes of God. In Ellen White's writings, Child Guidance, she says, "The history of the songs of the Bible is full of suggestions as to the uses and benefits of music and song. Music is often perverted to serve purposes of evil, and it thus becomes one of the most alluring agencies of temptation. But rightly employed, it is a precious gift of God, designed to uplift the thoughts to high and noble themes, to inspire and to elevate the soul." So music is a blessing. Music is a God-designed thing to basically uplift our minds to Him. So music is a good thing. In Christian education, she goes on to say, "Music was made to serve a holy purpose, to lift the thoughts to that which is pure, noble, and elevating, and to awaken in the soul devotion and gratitude to God." So if we are to judge music, if we are to evaluate it, what should music be doing to us? One, should it be serving a holy purpose for everything we do in our life? Should it lift our thoughts to that which is pure, noble, and elevating? I think so. I think that's the type of music God has desired for us to listen to. Now, how many people here know where all this sin originated from? What was the starting factor of this? It was Lucifer in heaven, wasn't it? And if we have a look at Ezekiel 28, it basically tells us that he was the covering cherub way before Eden, up when everything was pure in heaven. And there's an amazing verse in Ezekiel 28:13 here that says, "You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, the sardius, topaz, and diamond, beryl, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald with gold. The workmanship of your timbrels," now listen carefully, "the workmanship of your timbrels and pipes was prepared for you on the day you were created." Now, timbrels and pipes, what are they? They're musical instruments. So Lucifer was given one of the highest roles in heaven next to Jesus Christ. And the specialty that God gave him, besides his beauty and glory, was musical instruments.